My name is Elleesa and welcome to my crafty channel.
So today I'm going to use a scrap of HTV heat transfer vinyl iron on to make a gift bag. So we are going to be using HTV iron on cardstock today, which is going to be super fun and super easy. So let's just jump into our Cricut Design Space now. And my Cricut Design Space is version 8.18.64. And now we're going to go to New Project. And I'm going to look for a free image. So I'm going to go to Images, which is, at the moment, looks like a hot air balloon icon. And I'm going to type in cake, because this is for a birthday. And it's going to load up some images. However, I don't have Cricut access, and there's lots of prices attached to these images. So I'm going to go ahead and use my free filter. So in filters, use the free. And I'm going to select a cake. Now, heat transfer vinyl is really easy to weed. So I'm just going to go with this lovely design here. And I'm going to add that to the canvas. Now, the next thing I'll need to do is measure up my scrap of HTV. So I'm just going to jump over to my camera. And I'm going to cheat and grab out my trimmer to use to measure. So my scrap of HTV, I'll move my tools out of the way. This is my heat mat. This is my bag that we're going to use. Mini press, Cricut Joy. Now with trimmer, I've got the trimmer with the extendable arm. And I'm just going to pop this in and see that I've got a piece that is 30.5 centimeters long. And might actually inches of this one, and almost at 4.5 inches, so it's 11.4 centimeters, which means that it is the full width of the mat. It will take up the whole mat, and which means I can use the maximum width and maximum length for this mat. Perfect. Now we'll just jump back into Cricut Design Space, and I'll do the sizing next. So I'm going to go to the More tab, and I'm going to make my width 10.78 centimeters. And that is the maximum width on my Cricut Joy mat. I also don't like to use, even though I'm using a black heat transfer vinyl, the black doesn't show up any flaws in the cut. So I'm going to go ahead, change it to a different color, so I can clearly see those black lines, which are your cut lines. I'm doing this for a 7th birthday, so I'm going to go ahead and add another candle. So I'm going to go into my image search, make sure I've got my free filter checked, and I'm going to search for candle. I'm going to go with this one here. I'm going to add the candle. I'm going to come in on black as well. So this is where I'll show you. I can just turn this back to black just to show you. If I want to adjust this image and make it skinnier and longer, I need to unlock the proportions, which I've just done by going to the More tab. If I want to make the flame not have a hole in it, I can go to the Contour tab and take away that extra drop. So now it looks more like a candle that will fit in. Skinnier. Perfect. Now I'm going to right click here and duplicate. You can also push Ctrl D. And I'm going to use the flip to flip horizontal and add this extra candle. Now this is a good example of how black makes this look like it's going to come out perfectly. However, if I select all of them, so I'm going to click on my mouse and drag this box across, and that's going to select them all. And I go to basic operation and change that to a different color. You can see that there's a cut off there, and this candle is going to sit on top of that candle. So what we need to do now, we need to select all again. So you can also select on the right hand tab and go click on the first one and hold the shift button down and keep clicking. So now all three of them are highlighted. Go combined. You can either weld or unite in this case. Unite means that we're not quite sure whether we're ready. Weld will make the cut go faster. However, you cannot undo this. So now if I wanted to go back to 5 candles or move the candles, I cannot. If we had have used the unite function, we would have been able to move the candles around. Now I want 2 of these, so I'm going to duplicate again. So I'm going to right click and duplicate, or you can press Ctrl D. I'm going to move this down and I'm going to select both these, but I'm going to use the shift key this time and go to the align function and align left. Now I'm going to check these measurements here too. 10.78, which is the maximum width of my mat. 25.89, that is the perfect size for our material that we have. And it will create a scrap down the bottom, which I'm happy with. I'll use that for a different Scrap Busters project. If you like to create HTV stars or little embellishments for other projects, now is the time to go ahead and go to your free shapes or free images and add little bits in around the edges. I'm going to keep it simple today and not do that. So we are going to select both the images I'm going to attach because I want them to go on the mat together before I go ahead and press the make button. One more thing, don't forget to save your projects. So now I'm going to go ahead and press the make button. It's going to ask me if I want to do this on a mat or without a mat. I'm going to do it on a mat today. And it's showing me what my mat should look like. Now I'm using heat transfer vinyl, so I will need to use this mirror button. Turn on mirror for iron-on projects and materials that are placed face down on the mat like leather. And that is us today. So we are going to select the mirror and we're going to go ahead and press continue while making sure our Cricut Joy is already turned on. I'm going to jump across. I'm going to take off the cover of my mat and place it so that it doesn't get dirty. Make sure, so there's a shiny side and a matte side. So we want the shiny side to be facing down for heat transfer vinyl. And I'll just line this up as carefully as I can. And I'm going to use my scrape tool. A brayer also works really well. Brayer's better. I'll go ahead, set this all up. Jump back across. I'm going to select Everyday Iron-On. My mirror is saying make sure your mirror is turned on and your iron-on material is face shiny side down. So my mirror is turned on. There is a point here you can go and edit and fix it up if you haven't done so. My Cricut Joy needs more pressure and I'm happy to take that chance because I can't use rerun. That's a very personal machine driven thing and do lots of test cuts to figure that one out. Load tools and materials. So now it's ready for me to go back to that load. So we're loading now. And we can go ahead and press go. Now we're watching our Cricut Joy do the cutting process. So it's doing all the hard work for us right now. If you go back to your design space, it gives you a bit of feedback as to how it's going. So now we're doing the outline. So we're on to the second cake cutting now. Saying we're about 75% of the way through. Now it's all done. And it's asking me to unload. Now it's very important that we press the done button so that we disconnect our Cricut Joy from our computer. So I'll go ahead and do that now. If you haven't saved, now's a great time to press that save button. And now we're just going to go over to the camera and we're just going to do our crafting part. Okay, so now we're just going to unload and I'm going to pop my Cricut Joy away. Now, I've covered the whole mat, but usually I like to put my cover back on, peel the material away peel the mat away from the material, and then put my cover back on. This keeps my mat extra clean. Next, I'm getting my Cricut trimmer. So I can see here my design. I can also see there's a cut line right there. So I'm just going to pop that in, find my cut line, line it up with the edge, and that gives me enough buffer. Line up with both sides, back down. Now that'll give me a decent sized scrap to work with, perfect to making a name for someone. I can also then find this cut line, make a mark, make sure the candles are all okay. And so I can do this one at a time. Really helpful for weeding. I got that correct. So there's my top of my candles right there. And the base of my design, just perfect. Now I'm going to work on this. First thing I'm going to do is find a hook. And try and pull it all back at a 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle. Now it helps if you've got your design open on the other side so you can see where you're looking for. So I've got a little bit here. I can see my cut line. The wavy line. Now I've got this icing piece here. And it's the top icing piece. This one I'll need to be a bit more careful with because it's going around all the candles. Pull it 45-degree angle. And there we go. Get this lovely cake. So I'm just going to pop these in there. Now next I'm going to need my heat mat, my mini press, my transfer material, this bag. And now I'm just going to jump over to the Cricut Heat Guide. And now I'm going to select my Cricut Easy Press Mini. Heat transfer material is Everyday Iron-On. Base material, Cardstock, and press apply. So preheat for 5 seconds, low on for 25 seconds, constant movement, firm pressure, remove when cool. Okay, so we've got those. Now you've got all your instructions over here. And this is this summary. I really like the summary. So I'm just going to go jump back to our camera. And I'm going to pop my easy press on low. So one bar here. It will be orange until it's ready and then it will turn green. Now I've got my bag over here. So I'm going to put my easy press mat inside my bag. I am going to line this all up by eye today because it's just an quick upcycle project using the scrap at the end of my roll of HTV. So now I'm going to position this where I think it'll look pretty and make sure that my mat is underneath it and pop it down. However, I have just made one mistake and that was preheating. So I need to go ahead and preheat this too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let that sit for a moment. Now I'm going to go ahead and line this up. Now that it's cooled down a little bit. You can do it by eye, you could do it by ruler. I'm going by eye today. I'm using my external timer over here for 25 seconds. And I'm going to go ahead, press start. And use my constant movement firm pressure. Countdown 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now this is cool peel. So I'm going to take my mat out. I'm going to put this side down part on top of it and use it as a bit of a cooling mat. Because this side retains the heat and it stops the heat getting to the table. So it's got some cooling properties on it. Now, carefully remove plastic liner from the design and carefully check. Now this one looks good. However, if you do find any issues, pop your mat underneath again, grab some baking paper and just go over any little problem areas. And that's done. And that's done. We have a gift bag ready for a gift. For gifting ideas, check out some videos on my channel. Happy crafting.
If you liked the video today, please go ahead and give this video a huge thumbs up for me. If it is the first time you're watching me, make sure it is not the last. Go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you are amongst the first to know when I release a new video. Thanks for watching.